welcome to Grace.Filled. I am just going to have a quick live chat. I did not let the ladies of Grace know that we were meeting tonight, and no one came on. And so I thought that I would just hop on here on my main channel since I haven't been here in a while. I mean, yes, I come and I pray every day, but I haven't had a video in a while. And I have some that I need to edit and just upload, but they take significantly more time than some of, say, the just blog style, where just pick up the camera, shoot and go. And so since I had a few minutes before I began midnight prayer, I thought that maybe I would just chat for a little while with you guys. So go ahead and grab yourself some water, maybe some tea if you're getting ready to unwind for the night, if you're just getting ready to wind down and get ready for bed. And let's just chat for a bit. I know this will be recorded, and so even if people aren't here now, they'll be able to come back and watch the replay. I think my tea has some lemongrass, some spearmint, and something else in it. And I just brewed it at just one drop of honey and a little bit of ice. So that's my beverage of choice tonight. So something that I thought that I would talk about is just life. What's going on? Hi, Nobi. Hi there. Oh, maybe this worked out for the good, Nobi. I forgot to mention in prayer this morning, and I forgot to share in the Ladies of Grace that we were going live tonight. We normally go live in the membership community, and when I went over there, no one was on there yet, and so I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just go live on my main channel. So anyway, how are you today? So what I wanted to just talk about, well, first of all, I just want to talk. Hey, Leanne's Journey. I was over in the membership tab. Nobody was there. So I was like, I haven't been on here like in months. So maybe I'll just hop on here. So thank you for coming here. Honorary mention to you, Lady of Grace. I love and appreciate you. So I thought that we would just talk about life, talk about what's going on, kind of where we are. You're welcome, love. And something that I wanted to talk about is what we're doing with our time, how we're being a steward over our time, what we're picking up and what we're putting down. And I have a story to go with that, but I thought that I would just share that with you guys. Oh, it's 4 a.m. and you couldn't sleep. Oh my goodness. Well, I pray that once we're done chatting here and once we are done with our midnight prayer, our time live, you'll be ready for bed. Or maybe it'll be time to get up. I don't know. So, what happened? I'm not really sure what happened, but my daughter had something, or actually, it was my son who had something in their hand. And they were basically saying something to the effect of it's heavy. And, it probably wasn't the best thing to say, but I was like, well, who told you to pick it up, right? And so in that moment when I was saying who told you to pick it up, like immediately that thing really resonated with me and rang in my spirit, because it's like, how many things are we as I know that other people will come here. Mimi, hey, love. I was live in the Ladies of Grace and no one came. So I was like, let me just hop on here. I was just going to go and do something else. And I felt like the Holy Spirit was like, just get on your main page. I was like, okay, we love you, Lady of Grace. So you're just in time. I was telling a story about how my son had picked up something and he's saying it was heavy, and I was like, who told you to pick it up? And immediately, like, I just felt right there, like that was the word for me, like, who told you to pick that up? And I just began immediately thinking about, have I picked up something that's heavy that I was not even told to pick up, and now I'm struggling with it and I'm needing help because I picked up what I wasn't supposed to pick up. And so maybe that's a word for you guys, you ladies of grace as well, or maybe it's just the word for me. But I know being a mom and a wife and just having a compassionate heart, we want to do all the things, we want to go all the places, we want to make all the people happy, and the reality is we just can't do it all. And I know that there's a lot of things that are being taught. There's a lot of things that are going forth, right? There's a lot of things that are being shared. You know, we have to be this superwoman, we have to be this boss, like we have to make things happen. It's so much, but it's like, who told us that? And why do we have to follow that? And what are we picking up that we shouldn't be carrying? And what are we doing that we shouldn't be doing? It's like, come on, like, there is only so much time in a day. There's only so many things that we can do. No matter how good we are, no matter how efficient we are, we will burn out and overwhelm ourselves trying to do all the things. And I think particularly, and this is not to amend anyone, but I speak from the place in which I am. So as a large family mama, a family of 7, 5 children, you know, trying to grow my own food, having my own animals, having my own homestead, all these things, right? There's only so much more time. There's only so much that I can do. And you guys have not even seen like the tip of the iceberg as far as the ideas that I have, as far as the visions that I have, the dreams that I have, right? The things that I want to do, like all of the things, I have never even shared it. But the thing is, there's a season for everything, right? Ecclesiastics talks about that season and that time. And it's like, well, we want what we want, and we've been so trained and we're so used to having things. I don't want to say, um, fast and easy, but you kind of expect your internet, your food, we don't want to wait for anything, right? We want, even if the lines are long, now we can just go through self checkout. It's like anything to make things quicker and more efficient, like we're on it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but are you guys following me? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Did I hear you? Ooh, that's a word. It's a word for myself as well. Yeah, y'all talk back to me, because I'm not in my little secluded group. I'm open, so it's a kind of different feel, but I still want to be authentically me, and I still want to, give you something real. And like, I feel like if you're gonna use your time to get on here, you might as well get something from it. Like, you might as well leave encouraged and just strengthened. And it's like, we can pick up so much and try to do so much and want to be so much, and really we and it's not even that they're bad things, because the reality is sometimes you can be busy with good things, but all good things are not necessarily God things, right? And just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should do something. I know how to sew. I know how to this. I know how to that. But it doesn't mean that I should do all that. And so, with this conversation of me with my child saying, well, who told you to pick it up? And the Holy Spirit, Ruach saying to me, well, who told you to pick it up? I began to ask myself, what do I need to take off? What do I need to let go of? What's taking my time? What's taking my focus? What's taking my attention? And why is it taking my time, my focus, attention? And why am I giving my time, my focus, attention to it? Am I avoiding something? Is it am I avoiding something? Is it filling a void? Um, do I just have extra time to waste, right? Like, this whole process is what I had. And so I just thought about, okay, who's encouraging me? Who's speaking life to me? What things are edifying me, are helpful, are being a blessing in this season? Who's being a blessing in this season? And who feels like they're sucking the life out of me? Like, who feels like they're draining me in this season? And so these were some things that I asked myself as I began to ponder, what did I need to lay down? And what things have I picked up for myself that I just wanted to do? Not in trying to be right? Like, not in trying to be my own God, but just because people. If you know me, you know me. And people with big hearts, we want to do all the things and take on all the things. And then, of course, like, I have a beautiful brain. And so, of course, I really just want to do all the things. And it's like, some of the things that I want to do, why do I want to do that? Is it because I want to? Is it because I feel pressured to? Do I feel obligated to? Is this what society is saying that I should do? Saying, what I should look like, how I should act, how I should talk, how I should dress. And so I just admonish you with this time, before people leave and before we, hit our live prayer, if you're going to be joining us for that, just to really look at your life and what fruit are you producing? Are you bearing no fruit? Are you bearing much fruit? Are you bearing little fruit? Are you bearing the wrong fruit? Come on now. Are you an apple tree but producing pears? Are you a peach tree but producing plums? What's going on? Like, are your leaves withering? Are your leaves brown? Are they yellow even? Are they the right color? So it just really makes you think about the posture of our hearts. Like, where is our heart? Like, what's going on here? And the question I've been saying for many, 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 many years, I don't even know how long now, probably 11 years, but I've been saying, why do you do what you do? Like, why? Why do you do what it is that you do? Why? Why? Because when you really are intentional about what you're intentional about, and when you're really being a good steward of your time and your resources and your energy, you really realize that it's an audience of one. I say it in prayer all the time because I believe it with every fiber of my being. Like, everything we do is for an audience of one. And so when you begin picking up things, is it for the audience of one? Can you guys hear me? It said tap. I'm like, oh boy. So hopefully I don't lose signal back here. But yeah, is it for the audience of one? Or is it for likes? Is it for comments? Is it for shares? Like, we really have to be intentional about what we're being intentional with. And again, just checking the posture of our heart and why do we do what we do. Just like we don't want to gain the world and lose our soul, we don't want to gain the likes and the fame, right? Like, who cares if you got 1,000,000 likes, 1,000,000 views? Like, what changed? Did that secure your place, with the most high? So it's like, okay, if you have all those things but your home's not in order, you have all those things but it's not well with you, you have all those things, but you're not being a good steward, you're not being wise, you're not cooking, you're not clean, if you've dropped your ball for other things, it's like, then why are you doing what you're doing? And it's the Most High pleased with you? Is he getting the glory, or you getting the glory and don't even know maybe that you're getting the glory? And so then again, going back to the posture of the heart, because he knows the heart of man, right? Is it a void? Is it something that's going on in our lives? Is there something missing? And I say that, and it, I'm not gonna say it's not that deep, like, but it can be as deep, or or shallow if you want it to be, but it's just like, why do you do what you do? And I know a lot of people that talk about how when they gave up their government jobs, when they gave up their degrees, when they gave up just different things that they like, their worldly possessions, to be homemakers, to be homekeepers, to be homeschoolers, homesteaders. We all have a different, housewives, we all have a different dynamic. Some have children, some don't, some small families, some large families, some animals, some don't, some from scratch, some eat out every night. So there's so many dynamics, right, that are represented here. But regardless of the intricate parts and the individual parts, a commonality is just that a lot of people say that they gave up a lot, what I'm saying, for this. And so and giving up, sometimes they feel like they're not as important, they're not as significant, that they don't mean as much, that sometimes they're not seen, they're not noticed, they're not treasured, not valued, right? You know, especially when you have jobs when you're constantly celebrated and getting raises and bonuses, and you're very highly esteemed, to go from that to a place that's demanding give me milk, you know, for the nursing babies, and changing my diaper, and you know, just all the things that moms go through, or you know, by the time you put out one fire on the homestead, there's another fire, right? And so just, and then by the time you get done with one child and their curriculum, then there's another. And so no matter what, where you find yourself, or this side or this side, it doesn't matter. The point is what's in our heart. And sometimes the reality is we miss where we were, we miss the accolades, we miss the this, and the other. And so then we feel ourselves, we try to fill these voids, we try to fill ourselves, we try to validate ourselves, right? We try to validate our lives, and we pick up what the Most High is not telling us to pick up. Why? Because it makes us feel good, because it makes us feel validated, and just, for some people, gives purpose and fulfillment. I just want to encourage you on tonight that who you are, where you are, it's just who you need to be and where you need to be. You don't have to have a fancy title. You don't have to have a fancy degree. You don't have to get all the recognition. They don't have to write your name in lights. They don't have to like. They don't have to comment. Like, it's all for an audience of one, first and foremost, and two, the most important work that we can do, that we will do, really starts in our home, regardless of whatever the dynamic is. Again, with so many people being represented, the most important work you can do is in your home, with your family, loving the Most High first and loving them second. And so, if you, like me, have picked up some things that you had not picked up, this is a perfect time to just lay it down. I know that for most people, spring cleaning is over, but then there's some people that, like, they do some things a little bit later on. They're like, I'll do it on my time when I'm ready. And so this is a perfect opportunity to just do some cleaning, some spring cleaning in your heart, you know, in your minds. Why do I do what I do? Is there anything that I'm missing? Is there anything that I'm lacking? Are there any voids I have? Is there any way or any areas that I'm feeling unfulfilled? And then sit with that and allow the Most High to help you and to heal you. And I feel like sometimes it's almost like we said a bad word if we say we need help. It's like, as long as we're the superwoman and we're the boss babe and all these things, and as long as we're going a million miles a minute, we're good and we're going. But the moment we say I can't, the moment we say I'm tired, the moment we say I need a break, I need help, it it seems like it's such a bad word, right? And it's like sometimes you feel like you can't even say I need help. The judgments, right? The people have so much to say because you need help. But what I want is to see a group of women abiding, right? What I want is to see a group of women loving on each other, supporting each other, and not like, girl, you need help, what's wrong with you, and da 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 da. But like, oh, you need help, I can help you. Like, that's my strength. Like, me and my friends will come over and we will help you, and we can get through this thing together. Like, that is what I want to see happen. But I think it starts with putting down the things that we picked up that we shouldn't be picking up. So then we have room in our hands to pick up the things that we're supposed to pick up. And I really just want to encourage, and I had a moment where there was something that I needed someone to help me with something, and I'm not gonna say it was pride, but I just felt like I couldn't even tell the person that I had the need. Hey, Brandy. She said, hi. Yes, ma'am. It's so true. Leanne said, yes, that's a word. Amen. Orange juice said, amen. It's like, I felt like I couldn't even tell the person I need help because, like, oh, you need help? Yes, I need help. Like, what you think? What you think? What you think this is? Like, don't I put my pants in my like just like you? I'm a person. You're a person. We're people, and sometimes I feel like people don't want to acknowledge that we need help, and I think that that is the con of pretending, or not even pretending, but being so strong and a boss babe, and even sharing things publicly, because people forget that we're human too, and that we need help too. And I hope that just this time talking with me encourages you. If you need help, I need help. Like, I need help with the laundry. I need help with a dish. I need maybe take out for the night. Like, whatever it is, like, just, but be real and be authentic again, because it goes back to that heart. Yeah, I know it's the heart of man anyway. And so I feel like that's mostly what I wanted to share with you guys about being mindful of what you're picking up and what you're carrying in this season. Because what a shame to be carrying something that's so heavy that you shouldn't even be carrying. What a shame to be carrying something, I don't know, it glitched again, in this season that's heavy that you shouldn't even be carrying. And when you realize that you're carrying something that you don't even have to carry, I want to let you know it's okay to lay it down. I want to let you know that it's okay. I was talking to someone and she was like, oh, but I can't stop. Oh, but you can. You can. Like, you can lay it down. You can stop. And what I've been doing in my own personal life is saying, this is what I can do, and this is what I can do it. And I've been giving myself a block schedule. For example, I have 1 hour to get XYZ done. When that hour is over, I don't care. If I'm just being real, raw and vulnerable and transparent in this moment. This is normally what my ladies of grace get, but tonight everybody's just gonna get it. This is what I got done. This is what I could get done. And so whether I finished it or not, whether it was perfect or Pinterest worthy or not, I don't care. Done is better than perfect. And I think sometimes that's what we have to realize. I feel like we're starting to be conditioned that everything has to be perfect, that it has to be real worthy and picture worthy, and that's just not realistic. Sometimes we have clothes that are clean, that are washed, that are dried, that didn't get folded. I know for some people, but yeah, I mean, that's the reality of it. Sometimes we're not able to get all the things that we want to get done. We just we just can't. And the seasons are different for everybody, but in some seasons you just can't get everything done. And I just want to encourage you, if you're in a season where you can't get stuff done, where you can't get all 50 million things done off your list for the day, it's okay. First of all, it's okay. And then second of all, I would ask you to rethink your 50 million thing list. I've realized doing more is good. Yes, it's helpful. Yes, it helps you get to your goals and where you want to be. Yes. But doing more tires you out. It burns you out. It takes extra energy away. And so, again, I'm happy in this season giving myself a time frame, giving myself an amount of time to get a task done. And when I get these tasks done, that's it. That's it. There is a grace, you know, in just being honest with where you are. And there's a grace in abiding in Him, knowing that His grace is sufficient and knowing that He makes up the difference. Now, I'm not telling you to sleep on your couch all day and eat bombs and say His grace is sufficient and I didn't cook, I didn't touch one thing, I didn't do one thing. That's a little different. But even in that, in certain seasons of loss and anxiety and maybe grief and pain, and there may be the season to do that. But we're not talking about those seasons right now. We're talking about people who things are average. Because what's really average, right? But who are trying their best but fall short. Meaning trying their best to get the basics done and they still miss something. Something didn't get done. I want to encourage you, don't focus on what you didn't get done, what didn't happen. I want you to focus on what you do. What did you do? What did you accomplish? What did you get done? What goals did you meet, right? And it's so easy to focus on what you didn't do, but I've learned it feels so good when you think about what you did do. And so I still do it to some degree, but instead of writing my to-do list down, I kind of give myself the reverse. I write down what did I do, and writing down all the things that I did and giving myself the checks. Oh man, it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so good. So, does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have anything they want to talk about? I've got about 10 or so minutes, and I will give you guys a chance. It says, yes, I used to get so stressed and had to check myself and notice what was done. Yes, you have to give yourself grace because, you can be stressed not from yourself, but again, back to look, we got to go with the word for the night, not from yourself, but from what you picked up. Like, that's the truth. Like, there are some things that never bothered me, I never had an issue with. And my husband, bless him, he's a little OCD and he needs things just, very particular guy. And so now I had found that I had started to pick up some of the stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't need to pick that up. I don't need to carry that. I've got enough to carry. Um, I just want you to be encouraged. I think at the end of the day, I just want you to be encouraged. And I want you to be your authentic best self. Because the reality is, I can't do things like my husband. I can't do things like my best friend. I can't do things like some of these women. I can't do it. And for about a week, I tried, and I thought I was going to die. From the time I was up to the time I went, till the time I went to bed, yes, my house was spotless, but my goodness, I didn't sit, I didn't rest, I didn't have a moment of anything because it was non-stop wiping and this, and then I couldn't even enjoy my children. It was like, don't touch this, don't even look, don't move, like don't, and it was just too much. It's like, I don't want to live this kind of life. This is not for me. And this is not any sly, or no, I'm not trying to be funny or negative or anything to anybody who's like that. I say this in love. I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not that kind of person. I realize, and that's what I've been working on for a long time. I like things. I like freedom. I like to walk around barefoot. If my kids make a mess, I'm like they made memories. If my kitchen is a mess, we do clean it up. But it's like, look, you might see a mess, but I see memories. I see, when I think back to some of the best memories I have with my 5 children, my youngest being 6, my oldest being 16, it's not, none of the memories that stand out to me are the memories that are of a spotless house. Like hear what I'm saying to you. Like, if you have an ear, hear me. My most fondest memory, my most precious, valuable memories are not that of spotless houses. It's not that of a spotless vehicle. It's not that of my kids dressed to a T. It's not of me being flawless and makeup and Gucci and gold. Like, that's not my fondest memories. My fondest memories are having friends over for meals. One of my favorite memories with my best friend is, and she reminded me of the story and tells me the story. We were getting together and I made some peach sweet tea. And one of my kids, I'm not really sure if they were trying to be helpful or just trying to sneak a little drink. I think a mixture of both. And my child spilled the entire pitcher on the floor. And I worked for this, and it was so good. You hear me? It was so delicious. And in that moment, I had a choice. I could be like, oh my goodness, why did you do that? You shouldn't have done. But I was like, it's okay. We can make more. We can have something else. And in that moment, I chose the relationship over. First of all, you gotta say, first of all, the tea was gone. I couldn't get it back. Nothing I said would have brought that tea back. I'm sorry, this these pieces keep touching my neck. It's irritating, but I couldn't get that tea back. So I could have yelled till I was blue in the face, and what I would have done was damaged and hurt the relationship. The tea wasn't coming back, right? But that was a precious memory. And about 8 years later, that is a memory that's ingrained in her mind, where she says it reminds her of Grace and just being able to be peaceful and just loving, and just a reminder of how we should treat our children. That's a memory, right? I had another friend over, and my kids was making us lunch, and I could see her face like they were competing, and there was stuff all over. The place was completely clean before, or mostly clean. And as they were using the chopping boards and the knives, and it was like a veggie stir fry with all the kitchen was just in utter disarray. I have the picture of my phone. I said I was gonna post it. But let me tell you, when we ate that food, it was the best tasting meal. We both had to say, wow, like the kids did that, okay? The kids did that, like, shove kisses to the babies. They're growing up, but they did it. And it was like, it didn't matter that dishes were all over the place. It didn't matter how many dishes they used. And all that would matter is that they took the time to make us a meal. While we were doing something, working on a project, they cooked for us. They took their time and their energy and their creativity, and they made something absolutely amazing. So we as parents can choose to see, but they made a mess, and it's a mess, and it's stuff everywhere, and all these things that could go through your mind. Yes. And then the next time they want to be creative, they'll remember that. And maybe if not the next time, then the next time. The more we do it, the more we teach them, like, okay, they'll get the hint. Let's not do that anymore, because mom's going to be mad. Mom's going to fuss. Mom's going to yell. So I'd rather not even do it. That's going to happen. But man, we celebrated them. Like, come here, I need to give you like a tip. And so I'm sharing all this to say, hopefully I'm not like boring you and taking up too much of your time. But I just really want to have a heart to heart. And it's like, I'm sharing this to say that is a memory that I treasure, because it was so good. But beyond that, just because it was so messy, and I chose to not see the mess. And it's so easy to see the surface level stuff. But when we take the time to get to the heart of a matter, does it really matter about the mess? We can get so caught up in those things, but what's really the most important thing? You know? That, I don't know, that thing just, it reminds me kind of a Mary and Martha. And so it just really makes me think about, my babies and just me. And I find when I don't have enough sleep, I'm probably gonna be a little more, why are you doing this? I find that it can be easier to be the type of parent that I don't want to be. And so while we're taking care of everybody else, let's take care of ourselves too. I'm not saying go buy Gucci and gold. I'm not even telling you to go out to eat. But I'm telling you to eat. I'm telling you to get water, to get sleep and just take care of your body, because your body really is the temple. Um, so it's been about a month since I have stopped filling out my weekly planner pages because of me feeling overwhelmed when I didn't get everything completed for the day. That was me, Nobi, like seriously. And like some people don't understand that when I tell them that. I can't explain it, but the way my brain is, like even sometimes just seeing all of it, it's like, oh my goodness. And so I moved more from like a schedule to more of a block, and I just found that in my home, in my home school, just in my life, that just really works well for me. I work better with that type of flow and that kind of system, and just not being overwhelmed. It's crazy because most people don't even understand the feeling of being overwhelmed just by a page and a planner, but I get it. Your girl gets it. And so I don't want to be overwhelmed by the pages in my planner. I don't want to be, you know, screaming and hot. Like, seriously? I've had some weeks where it was like I felt all I did was fuss. Not because I wanted to, but because sometimes these kids, oh my. Did I say I have 4 boys already? Do you know what boys do? Do you know what boys say? And these are some, listen, I can say what I want to say in my private group. This is open, so I gotta be mindful. But I went outside the other day. The kid was on top of the car. What are you doing on the car? Sometimes in the tree. Yeah. If you know me personally, I'm sure you know exactly which kid I'm talking about. And if you don't, I won't tell it. But I ask the Lord to give me the grace to keep loving them, to keep being gentle with them. Oh, to be sweet, loving, and kind, to use my soft voice. Now I just thank the Most High for me being able to accomplish any task, and I feel so much better not looking at any unchecked boxes. Yeah. Leanne Sherney says, excuse me, Lady Leanne says, you reminded me of the time we got to take out the children. Excuse me, you reminded me of the time we got takeout and the children were hungry, so eating, and I was going to eat at home. I stopped at the store and my daughter ended up putting my food in the bin by accident. Oh my goodness. Wow. I was annoyed but didn't even get mad. I was hungry but just had some of what was left over from the kitties. Oh my goodness. And that kind of stuff happens. But here's the deal. If she remembers that, can you imagine the story that she's going to be able to tell the rest of her life? Like, y'all, let me tell you a story. One day my mama was so hungry and she had got some food. She stopped at the store and I was cleaning out the car. I threw my mama's food away. They were like, what? What'd she say? What'd she do? She didn't say anything. Like, what a story to be told about you. Seriously, what a story. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we are doing so much for the kingdom of Yah and just loving our babies. That's why I said loving our babies and taking care of our home truly is a good work. And so if we picking up things in this season that nobody told us to pick up, things that are heavy, we really have to lay it down so that we can focus on them and the way that we're responding to them and the way that we're loving on them. Because I tell you, things could have went a different way. What if you had been like, you threw my food away and I was hungry and said some choice words or things that, some parents say, like real talk. Everyone's not like us. And, what if you had told her off or smacked her, like, or whatever the case may be? Like, now which story would she have to tell her family and her friends, like, later on? And so, weird again, we're impacting, we're making a difference. We're setting an atmosphere in our homes. I know I've made lots of videos about atmospheres. Atmospheres, I believe, are set partly by us. I've got some rowdy kids. Did I mention I have 4 boys? And so they have a lot of energy. And so I try to set the atmosphere with worship music, with peace. I pray. I have my essential oils. Sometimes I have tea. I already know who's going to be doing what, which ones are busy. So I have, oh, could you do me a favor? I might not even need a favor, but I don't want you getting yourself in trouble. And because I know you and I know that you might be about to get yourself in trouble, let me be proactive versus reactive. And again, I can be more proactive versus reactive when I've had sleep, when I've had water, when I've been taking care of myself. So take care of yourself, ladies. And I'm not talking about the self-care where you need to go anywhere and spend any money. I'm not talking about the spa. I'm not talking about shopping. I'm not talking about any of that. I don't promote that here on my channel. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I don't want you leaving my channel feeling like you need to go buy anything. That's not my channel. That's not what I'm about. It's never been what I'm about. And probably 80% of the time I've shared anything, it's thrifted or gifted anyways. So not to promote or push, but I'm talking about things that you can do that are free. Self-care, writing, reading, drawing, taking a walk, working on a garden, working on a project, sewing, crocheting, polishing your own nails or toes, doing your hair, baking something that you like, arranging some flowers, whatever your passion is. But just making time for you, just a little bit, so that you're not tempted what the world seems to offer, so that you don't feel envious or jealous of people who are empty, shallow, and vain, who might look good on the outside but be rotten on the inside. I saw this apple on a meme one time, and it was the best looking apple ever until you turned it around on the other side and the apple had been bitten and the apple was all brown and dirty on the inside. And so what about the times that you're coveting that apple and wishing for that apple and praying for that apple and really, oh, but if only I could have that apple and look how that apple shines or whatever, only to realize it's not even what it really is. That's crazy. I saw another one. I think it said, beautiful body, rotten souls or something. And it was this another piece of fruit. I think it was a banana that had all these pearls on it. But then when you peeled it, it was all black. Listen, we have to fix our eyes on the Most High. And I'm talking to myself, but I'm sharing my journey. I'm just sharing some updates, speaking from my heart. The Apostle Paul tells us that we have to be content in all things, right? Wherever we find ourselves, we have to be content. And sometimes we can find ourselves wanting all the things. I'll tell you something. I never followed a lot of people to begin with. But I had to just go and unfollow some people. And I really sat with myself. And I said, why am I following this person? And there were some people that whenever I look at anything, it's like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want that, or I need to get this, I need to put this on my wish list, put this on my to-do list. My wish list is long enough. My to-do list is long enough. My dream list is long enough. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have aspirations and things like that, but again, are these things and people pushing you towards the Most High and purpose and destiny and the calling and the gifts and talents that the Most High Yah has for you and for your family? Or are the people and things that you're looking at and following taking away and pushing you away? Are they making you have gluttony spirits and jealousy, envy, oh, if only I could have that, oh, if only I could just, again, like those apples and bananas and whatever other stuff, you think it looks so good and you think it's so good. What they say, everything that glimmers ain't gold. Everything. Listen, let me tell you something. Cubic zirconiums look like a diamond. You hear me? I'm telling you. It's sparkling, but it ain't a diamond. And so it's so easy to be deceived. And I don't want you beating yourself up and being discouraged and overwhelmed and having anxiety and picking up stuff that you don't even need to carry, especially for something that's an illusion, for something that's not even real. I've done it. Not often, not often. Fool's gold. That's what I was about to say. And I'm like, what is it called? Fool's gold. It's late. It's late. It's like what? Almost 12. So I'll get off here in a minute because I had to pray. I wanted to say something. Well, I'll come back to it. It says, Amen. I had to unfollow with discernment. Amen. Yeah. Fool's gold. LOL. Yeah. Sometimes you have to like, why am I really following this person? Like, what is this person adding to my life? And then I had to really catch myself, like the Most High dealt with me, because there was a moment where honestly it wasn't that anything was wrong per se in my life. I was just tired. Your girl was tired, and so I was just chilling watching some YouTube videos, and I had to say, wait a minute, baby. First of all, what value did that add to you? How did that help you? What was the encouragement? What did you take away? What did you gain? And I was like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. And I had to repent because there was a person that I was following and I picked up some wrong habits. What you say? That's what I said. Your girl, she was always talking about this particular product that she loves. And I won't go into any more details than that. But I went and picked the product up too. I was like, oh, let me try it. No, I shouldn't have been spending the money on that. Now, on the scheme of things, you guys have been in my life for what? 8 years, 9 years? You know I don't spend, I'm not a spender. But I did buy this. Was it $1,000,000? No. To some, it was just chump change. But it wasn't the point of how much it was. It could have been $1. It was the point that I let her influence me because she was always talking about it, ranting and raving about it. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I'm missing out, or I should just try this too. I said, Father, forgive me. I said, what a waste of my money. I don't even use the product. And I'm like, but it was such a good experience for me. And so I'm very mindful. And I want you to be very mindful as well. That guess what? This message is held for review. Okay. I don't know why they didn't want me to, why they hid it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it says, haha, I'm right there with you. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why, you know, why I did that, why I wanted that, but it was enough lesson for me. And then, like I said, when that day I was just tired and just resting, but didn't gain a thing, it was like, you spent this time, but what did you gain? And I said no. And so I don't show up often. But every time I show up, I want to make sure that you leave better than you came. I want to give you a word. I want to give you something to sink your teeth into. I want to give you something to encourage, motivate, inspire you, your home, your life, your homestead, whatever you got going on. Because there's enough people that are not trying to inspire you and motivate you. There's enough people just trying to sell you, that's trying to, you know, get you to do this, get you to do that. And there's enough people telling you to be more, do more. You're not doing enough. You know, buy more, get the latest, the greatest. And I'm here to tell you to see if you can make do with what you have. See if what you have is enough. I'm here to encourage you that you can do a lot with the little. Even when you have a little with Him, it's a lot. And so that's how I'm going to end this tonight. I just want to tell you thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for chatting with me. Again, these are the chats that I normally have in my private community. But for whatever the reason, they weren't there. And so I got to just come here and share with you. And I hope that if this message was for you, that you grabbed hold of it, that you keep it, and that you take it, and that you let it propel you and move you forward, and that you allow this message to make you think about what you're thinking about, to make you think about your heart posture, why you do what you do, to make you think about what things you can change, and how are people influencing you and impacting you. Are they encouraging you to do a lot with a little? Are they encouraging you to pray? Are they encouraging you to love your children, love your home, love your family, love what you have now instead of always reaching for something else? Because there's some people, no matter what they get, they're never happy. I've seen video after video after video, people that went and got brand new, every single thing, brand new paint, everything that you can imagine, only to redo it the next month, and the next month, and the next month. And it's like, at some point, that space has to be okay. I'm not knocking, I'm not judging. I'm simply saying, abide in Him and let Him be your reward. Let Him be enough. And let's focus on Him and the gifts that He's given us, and not on what we don't have, and not on what other people have. Let's focus on putting down what He did not tell us to pick up. Let's focus on putting down what's heavy, what's burdening us. I love you, but He loves you best. So I'll be back with another video soon on this channel. If you're not following me, make sure you check out my homesteading page, Grace.Filled Homestead, where I share all the things that I've been doing here lately around the homestead, with the animals, with the gardens, the vegetable gardens, the flower gardens, the greenhouse, all the things. And last but not least, make sure that you go ahead and join us for prayer. We're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 5:55, to just chat and greet and love on each other, and 6 o'clock to pray. So if you feel you need some encouragement, you need some help, you just need more of something like this, come join us. You know, there's so much room for you. And if you say, hey, you know, I saw that you were drinking some tea over there, I want to bless you with tea for $5 a month, 3 of which comes to me, join the membership over there. And I try to have these type of talks once a week, or normally it's on Fridays, and sometimes it's mixed with Bible study. But I love you, and I'll be back in chat with you guys soon. So have a good night, and thank you for joining me. And hey, Shanice, see you in prayer soon.